Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I am your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ media production. Way back in the day, back in 2017, we had a crazy idea to start a show on the internet, a podcast called Behind the Smoke, which has evolved into what we call Digital Hospitality, which is our deep thesis. So if you're new to the show, welcome. We have a collection of business owners, entrepreneurs, restaurateurs, people who think differently and who believe in the internet, who believe that hospitality exists in all businesses. But we also believe that we can build incredible communities online if we have the courage to share and use all these amazing platforms that we have available. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Teyoshe Smith. She is an entrepreneur. She is behind the brand Bite by Bite, and she's here to let us know her story. Teyoshe, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Sean. Super excited to be here.
So I have breaking news. This is something that I didn't expect to happen, but it happened. So this is the first time a guest has sent us a gift that actually arrived 7 minutes before the recording of this show. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please check out our YouTube page, Cali Barbecue Media, because I am about to unbox a Bite by Bite charcuterie board. So can you, Teyoshe, give me a play-by-play, give me some instructions?
I will. So first off, I'm super excited because I know we were nervous if it would make it. So that's huge. So
totally,
this was all meant to be.
That's digital hospitality in real life. There it is.
Absolutely. So yeah, so this is just a part of one of our product offerings where we ship charcuterie boards nationwide. And so in this case, we shipped you a board that serves up to 2 to 3 people. And then you also are going to experience some of our homemade cheese dips and cheese balls. So
Sweet.
On the board, you'll have a variety of beef and turkey and some pork, as well as some of our homemade cheese balls, some fresh fruits and vegetables. And then we also include a little guide to kind of just help you walk through how to actually enjoy it. But you have me, so it gets no better. So I'll be able to give you pointers on how to pair. But we have just a really simple formula that we use. So whenever you are indulging in our charcuterie, we always say you want to have something that's sweet, crunchy, and savory. So if you combine the flavors for that, and we use obviously the ingredients on your board, it will create what we call the perfect bite.
Amazing.
Yep. So an example of that.
What are the instructions?
So the instructions for that. So you will have, when you open your box, you'll see that you have pure honey and some apple butter and hummus. So from those 3, you're going to try the apple butter. Are you going to go ahead and pop it open so we can see?
I'm popping it open.
Look. Nice. Yep. And you got to lay your parchment paper down, which, that's where we're going to actually set the charcuterie on. Oh yeah, we literally give you everything you need in that box. You don't need anything.
So I've got the what is this called?
What is it? Yeah, it's called parchment paper. What does it say? You, me, and charcuterie. Cute.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay. So everything, all of your ingredients in your board, it's going to be in that insulated pack. So that should be taped up pretty tightly. So you'll probably need some scissors to get in that guy. But when we ship the actual boards, they are insulated, and we do keep them at a cool temperature. So they come with 2 to 3 ice packs, and our requirement is to have it there either overnight or within 2 days shipping. So your Sean, in this case, has been shipped and delivered within 2 business days. And what we generally say, so when you receive your board, refrigerate immediately. But before you actually consume your board, you want to make sure you have it out at least 30 minutes beforehand so it can actually come to room temperature. Beautiful. Yep. So that is your signature dip and the garlic feta. And this is the jam and the butter that you'll use. So that's pure honey. We work with a local beekeeper, the one in the middle. And then we're going to create a couple bites with the honey, and then we're going to also create a bite with your apple butter. Look at that.
Beautiful.
A thing of beauty.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So this is what we offer. We ship pre-arranged, beautifully charcuterie board. So that's how you're getting it. You see it firsthand. This is shipped from Virginia to California.
All the way to San Diego. Look at that magic. Well, the best part is I'm going to enjoy this with my family, the Walchef Wolf Pack, and we're going to make another video of us actually enjoying all of these and giving our review because we believe in
Awesome.
reviews.
I love it. I love it.
So, can you please share with our audience when you took the entrepreneurial jump off the cliff?
Yeah, for sure. So I've worked in corporate America, for forever, like most people. And I have no entrepreneurship background or anything like that. So when I did kind of like land into this business, it was really just as a hobby. So I was making charcuterie boards for my friends and family. I love entertaining, so it comes to me naturally. Like at heart, I'm a nurturer. So with that being said, I would always, make something for my family, and my sister-in-law and I, we really did kind of spend a lot of time during the holidays together, and we would make charcuterie boards. And one specific like weekend when we were making a board, it was for my daughter's birthday, and she mentioned, she was like, you should probably try to like sell this. Like she was like, just how you and I love it, I think other people would be really interested in like purchasing, a beautifully arranged board. And I'm like, huh. So I decided to give it a go Mother's Day weekend of 2022. And I created some cute little boxes with, fresh fruits and vegetables, cute little roses for what's made out of salami. And I was able to actually make a posting on Facebook Marketplace, and I sold the boxes there. So it was pretty neat to see that people were really like excited and interested in buying these boxes, because I just did it just for fun to see if it would stick. And then once I sold those boxes, others started reaching out to me. They were like, do you have any more of those left? And it just kept going and going. And then from there, shortly after, probably I think it maybe like 3 months later, I ended up getting a commercial kitchen. My business was actually born, where I was, actually taking orders, and I had like, my health department license. I had my insurance, just all the things, my certification for handling food. And and that's how it was born. And then I think to transition out of corporate America, I really realized that I had something special. And I said, you know what, I think I'm going to just give it my all. So May of 2023, I decided to do this full time, and my sales tripled once I made that decision, with my husband, because it took some convincing with my husband. It was like, wait a minute, are we sure this is what we want to do? But I just I'm grateful that it all worked out, and it definitely is, growing bigger than what I ever expected, for sure.
It's phenomenal. Can you bring us back to the name, picking the name, choosing the name?
Yeah, well, there's actually bringing you back. I got to bring you even further back, because the original name of the business was Grazing Crazy, and I actually had I was issued, what is it called, a cease and desist letter, I think it is. So
Yeah.
another company that is similar to Grazing Crazy, they're called Graze Craze. They actually wanted me to stop using that name because it was too close to theirs, based on trademark infringement. I just learned all these things, right? I was like, oh my gosh, they're coming after me. What do they want?
Yeah.
So I had to, last year of 2023, so December, I had to officially halt using my name, get rid of the brand, and always stop using on social media. And then I had to rebrand myself. So Bite by Bite and Company, that came from, really, it evolved from the business, like just being able to experience kind of what my customers have when they order from us, feedback that we've received. So literally, you are having a board or you're eating our cheese dips, and every, bite is a true experience. And then I wanted something to not necessarily be directed just towards charcuterie, because I just don't know where this business is going to take us. And then on top of it too, we have our cheese dips and cheese balls. So it just was very fitting to call it Bite by Bite and Company, and just kind of, we rolled with it.
Can you bring us inside pricing on Facebook Marketplace? How did you come up with the price in the beginning?
I guessed kind of what felt right to me. I'm like, so I charged $25 for the boxes. I was like, that feels right.
Yeah.
Obviously now we have a whole cost analysis, right? Like we can go by the market, we go by, we have a whole formula on how to like create pricing. But during that time, and I called like my mom, my sister, I was like, I'm going to charge $25. Does that feel good to you? Would you pay that?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that sounds good. So $25. And I don't offer those boxes anymore, because now that the business has grown so much, some of those things are just tedious and not a true profit there. But I mean, those are just so sentimental to me. So for Mother's Day, we bring them back, the
Got it.
little boxes just to give, a head nod to how the business started.
I think it's interesting. We have a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously a lot of restaurateurs that tune into our show, but pricing strategies from where you are in the beginning to where, like our barbecue business, 16 years, we have so many technology tools of how do we analyze how much is our cost, how much is the recipe cost, how much is our labor, how much is our overhead, all of those things. But in the beginning, it was like, I just hope somebody comes and buys some ribs. Like I just hope somebody comes in the
Sean,
door.
that resonates with me so much because even now, I mean, I'm still learning, right? This business is only June will be 2 years for us. So
Awesome.
we're still babies crawling and still, figuring it out. But we have just, literally made leaps and bounds within these 2 years because as you may know too, we're franchising. So a lot of like since we're speaking like pricing, a lot of this did have to come like, more factual. And I had to really understand how to read my data, follow my products and all that now that I'm having others, purchase their own location. So it's just been like, kind of scary, all the things that are happening and all the decisions that have to be made. But, every other day, I feel like it's a new like cliff that I have to climb. Like,
It does.
okay,
It
what's
never
next?
ends. It's never
It
ending.
does not.
Yeah, it's never ending. We started a media business on top of a restaurant business, and every single day we're learning how to run that business as well. So
Yeah. Wow. See, so yeah, you don't sleep very well either. Do you just kind of wake up in a panic at night
no,
sometimes?
yeah, it's. I mean, we're grateful for the opportunity to play
Oh,
the
yeah.
game. That's we're Simon Sinek wrote a book called The Infinite Game, and I think so much of what resonates with this show, with podcasting, with creating content. I mean, when you put your truth out into the world on Facebook Marketplace or on Instagram or on TikTok or on a podcast, all you can do is hope that someone listens. You hope
Yeah.
that you're just not a crazy person dancing in the town square by yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
And that
we
your message is received. That's what it boils down to. Like
Yeah.
right now I have a message and I'm going to share it, but I've been kind of toggling back and forth because, putting yourself and making yourself vulnerable, right? It does take a little bit of courage. And I consider myself to be a very people person and I don't meet a stranger, but I'm like, I'm so nervous to post this. What if people are like, what is she talking about?
Yep.
So, but I mean, that's a big part of entrepreneurship. And I'm just grateful that, during this time frame, we have that platform to really, kind of leverage because times have changed so much. So, you can just go live and immediately, get the support that you need, but you got to have the courage. Just do
I think,
it.
well, I think that I would love for you. Do you go live on Instagram?
I do. Well, I've only gone live a couple times. So
Okay.
again, I do take my own advice, but I do, but I have been trying to be more present. Meaning like, at the bare minimum, make sure my voice is available. Like I do a lot of voiceovers. And then I also like to obviously record videos and then I
Yep.
will show, myself speaking. But that is my challenge for this quarter is to really, go live, engage. Because my customers, I do see and they've expressed to me, they really want to like know more about me and
Yep.
really kind of understand, a lot about like what we're doing and behind the scenes. So those are some, kind of like, I guess, tips that I've really received. And I think I'm like, okay, yeah, I hear y'all. You'll see it. We're going to be doing more video capturing for sure.
Can you tell me more about Instagram, how you built it out? You have a great following. We're going to put a link in there, but Instagram specifically, the things that have worked, the things that haven't.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna lead with a funny story. So
Perfect.
one night, my girlfriend, which she has been instrumental, she and I worked at Capital One together. So that was, my career before by Bite and Co. So anyway, so she and I were out to dinner. So she brought a friend along and introduced her friend to me because we were able to kind of do a little collaboration because she had just started a business and I think she opened like a Medi Spa or something like that. So this was probably like the first year, like I don't know, maybe it was like close to the holidays of 2022. So it was like as soon as everything had started. So then she was like, well, tell me a little bit about your business. I was like, yeah, I have this charcuterie business and it's going so great. And so she was like, oh, well, what's your Instagram? And I told her at that time, the name of the business was Grazing Crazy. So I was like, it's Grazing Crazy. And I was so proud to show. I was like, go ahead and type it in your phone, pull it up. And so she pulls it up and she's like, oh, you have 312 followers. That's so cute. I was
Oh, the shade.
Yeah, but people like I did not realize, right? Because I am a mom, I have, a husband, a dog. Like I literally had no idea that that is the first thing people do when like when they go to your profile. So to me, I thought 300 was good, but when she said it like that, I was like, well, maybe it's not. So that story is now kind of like, my motivation. I'm like, I need more followers. So we're almost at 10,000 followers and it hasn't even
Awesome.
been, a full year. And we've really done that through just this engagement that I'm talking about. So I will tell you kind of where we're going, which is I see a huge difference is, how they have like the mukbangs and everybody just loves watching people eat, which is what I'm hoping y'all will do too with your board. But
Yeah.
I would like to create a lane like that for charcuterie. So really, I know we have great flavors. I know we make delicious dips, but I want the people to know that, right? And people come and give feedback and they write out these wonderful Google reviews, but nothing is like seeing it firsthand and actually, having that live review, real time, seeing the people's reactions, hearing, their feedback of how everything tastes. So that's what I've been encouraging a lot of my followers to do and my customers. Can you just like post your experience? And then I've been working with influencers where they are, I'm shipping them things to try and they will go ahead and create a reel for me and then give their feedback. And I tell them, I'm like, be honest. Do not, I do not need this to be where, I'm trying to kind of con you to say what I want you to say. I want you to tell like how you really feel. And I think just having, just those genuine experiences and sharing that, I think that's going to take us even further because we're just now starting that. I think we've been like maybe like the past couple months kind of taking that route, but you'll see some big hitters coming soon here on our Instagram. I'm really excited.
Are you guys on TikTok?
We are on TikTok. We don't have as big of a presence, but because I just started the account this year, actually. So in January, I just created the account. So I think we may be at like close to 1,500 followers, but
Awesome.
now I'm really actively getting a presence there. Same for Facebook. Facebook, I think we're like right at 4,000, but Instagram is literally where we do have, a strong presence. So
When did the idea for franchising the business come about?
oh my gosh, that literally comes from customers. Like people are just, blown away with what we do. And then when I started, as my Instagram started, kind of expanding outside of Virginia, others are like, well, where are you located? We would love to have this here. And especially our workshops. Our workshops are a big part of kind of how we connect with the community. And then we also get the opportunity to share our cheese dips and cheese balls with everyone so they actually can taste the things and experience like the creation of boards. So that has been a big help. But from just feedback and then, realizing that charcuterie is like paving, like they're like literally you can't kind of talk to anybody without even hearing the word now. So it's so, even though it's like really trendy and this market is like going crazy, I do think there is like space for somebody to pave the way. And we are doing things so uniquely and we're doing a lot of first things where people have not caught on quite yet. And I'm just trying to, take this opportunity while that space is open and available. So I think
our franchise is available now.
Yeah, we actually we have 2 locations that we hopefully will be opening this fall that 2 people
Amazing.
are in progress of purchasing. One in Virginia and then one in Florida. So yeah, it's happening and it's it's fun and it's scary, but it is definitely, yeah, I envision that Bite by Bite and Co. will be a household name and we will have a location in every state.
That's
So
amazing.
that's
What's the footprint requirement?
so really there's a couple choices, which is why I think it makes I've been dying to use this term, which is why it makes it so sexy to own a Bite by Bite. So for me, I've been able to kind of create 2 models because I'm living in 2 models, meaning like you can choose to have a storefront or you can choose to just have a commercial kitchen. So right now I'm operating out of a commercial kitchen and that has brought us true success with, no real challenges. But now that the business has grown, doors have been open where we can now have a storefront. So the Virginia location will be moving and we will have a storefront. But I suggest, and I think it's just based on people's finances, based on, where they are in their life. But if you want to, kind of keep those startup costs low, then there's an option just to go ahead and rent out a commercial kitchen. And that works fine because you're offering pickup and delivery. And then others who would like to go, kind of more, a little more in depth with just kind of how big they want to actually present the business and have that storefront, then that's, an option too. So it's funny because the two franchisees, one is taking one approach with a commercial kitchen, and then the other one actually wants to have a storefront.
Amazing. And what kind of footprint for a storefront? Like, what are the kitchen requirements?
That part I think we're figuring out, because even me, my storefront, it's not, we don't move in until June 1st. So we're actually doing the renovation and trying to figure it out. But I think
no hood needed, right?
Well, we are the only thing that we actually make, and this is with our grazing tables, is we heat up sandwiches and we heat up meatballs. But outside of that, no, it's just mostly the refrigeration. And I think the biggest challenge that I'm experiencing right now is that I need like a walk-in space, because our grazing boards, they range from 2.5 feet all the way to 6 feet. So being able to support, 10 boards at a time, because at any given day we can have 10 events, and just needing to have all those boards created and being able to house them. That's one challenge. But that's really what we're trying to figure out now, is kind of what that would look like. But where I would like to see it go is if a customer walks in, they can kind of treat it like a Chipotle and create their charcuterie, like customize there in front. So we can actually make their board or box right there in front of them while they're like looking through the glass window and deciding like what they want on their actual board. And then in addition to that too, I could also offer classes inside of the space. So that'll be a nice opportunity, because we do want to expand for workshops that can accommodate children, because right now we have them at like wineries and breweries. So it'd be so nice to have a space where we can also have those workshops for children. So more to come on that. But I think in the next couple of weeks or so, I'll have it all ironed out and kind of what that would look like. But I'm excited that I get to kind of create that, to your point, that footprint first. But it's kind of exciting.
The results are in. National Restaurant Association show. Kyle and Sarah and myself, we were at the Davos sales tax booth, and we were polling restaurant owners on the floor. This was a very unscientific poll, but the results are resounding. Restaurant owners do not like sales tax. Nobody likes sales tax. Doesn't matter what business owner you are, small business, big business. Davo automates the sales tax process. We are so grateful that Davo is the sponsor of this show. They automate sales tax at our Cali barbecue restaurants. It is $50 a month. It integrates with all the major point of sale partners, including Toast. So if you want to sleep at night, if you want to not worry about sales tax, go to Davo, check them out, Davo Sales Tax. Let us know how they're helping automate your sales tax in your restaurant so that we can share your Davo story on digital hospitality.
Hey everyone, Avi Gorin, CEO and co-founder of Marquee, and I want to talk about the customer journey for a second. You never know as a restaurant owner where your guests are truly coming from. End of the day, we do see some patterns around two types of search behaviors: direct versus discovery. Direct search, for an example, would be jumping into Google and saying Cali barbecue hours, right? I know where I want to go to eat, but I'm missing a key detail. I need a little bit more information. Discovery, which is the bulk of searches, is barbecue in San Diego, restaurants near me, takeout near me, right? One of the best ways to be found for more discovery searches is leveraging keywords. Reviews are basically free content for you to leverage. Think about keywords that are relevant to your brand, your location, and include as many of those in your review responses as possible, right? How can you go about doing this? Let's set up reports, utilize tools like Google Trends, find out what's going on in your area and how you can help leverage these keywords and review responses, because someone else is doing that, right? If you need some examples, you could do anything from including summer menu, gluten-free menu, leverage specific menu items like the dreaded and beloved spice pumpkin anything in your review responses, right? Let them know what's coming. Let your reviewers know something they should come back and try. And of course, if all of this just seems overwhelming and daunting because you're already running a restaurant and have enough on your plate, just leverage the team at Marquee to do this for you. We handle all of this. We're experts in this space. We can automate this so it's just another item that you know you are taking care of. Again, that's marquii.com, marquii.com. No you. However, we did recently buy marquii.com. So if you do misspell it, we got you. You'll still find us. We can still help you.
On this show, we're obsessed with the 4 C's, and we call that content, commerce, communication, and community. And all of those C's, they all live here. We're obsessed with the technology that connects all of them. Can you share a little bit about the technology that you use for commerce, for selling online, shipping online? Who are your partners? What do you work with? How have you simplified the process?
Yeah. So, okay. So our shipping is all of the orders go through our website, which is Wix. And then we recently, Wix offers, there's like I guess maybe like a third party, and it's called Shippo. So Shippo is, basically a label printing service, and we just do this all through like our website, and they actually create the labels for us and we can print them out, and then we just schedule like a pickup through FedEx, and they come to our kitchen and pick up the item. So that's kind of been new for us because we've had shipping challenges where we're like actually going to FedEx and needing to wait there and all that drama. But now what we do is just kind of like I said, when the orders come in, everything is very automated now. And all we're doing,
how did you find them?
They are offered through the website. Like it's a third party through Wix.
Really?
So I have like a premier membership or something like that. So what that means is that you have like your own kind of like sales rep, somebody always calling you to sell you stuff. So somebody
Nice.
So somebody called and mentioned, and they also like monitor my website, and they see that we actually ship. And so they presented it to us, and, it's been golden because it was pretty cumbersome with, using just FedEx, and all of my girls would have to go up to the FedEx office and that kind of thing. But now we actually do everything through our website. So it made it really a lot more efficient for sure. So we've been probably the past 2 months. And the other good part about this is that the pricing, this is what I could not figure out. And, this has just been my learning curve, but for shipping, there was no way to determine, I couldn't, let's say you go onto the website, right? And you buy your product, you add it to your cart. And then at checkout, when you enter your address, it would not calculate how much it would cost to ship. So I just kind of gauged it. Sometimes I won, sometimes I didn't, where I lost money. And that was very frustrating because over the past, since I've been working with the influencers, we ship like crazy every week. We have gotten so much business from these influencers, from all over. Yeah. So now, so that's why I immediately had to figure out something different because it was killing us with the FedEx. But now with Shippo, everything is automated. And once they put their address in, it calculates it. So it offers either 2-day, and it will adjust the cost for 2-day, or if you want it the next day, it adjusts that cost. And now that price is built into or added to their actual order, and they pay for it now versus me worrying if I'm losing money or whatever. So it's just been phenomenal. Yeah, that helps me sleep better at night.
How do you identify influencers to work with?
I just kind of so my sister, she's a little younger than I. She's almost 10 years younger than me. So she helps me figure out who's a cool, influencer. And then, I'm a foodie too. So I do follow a lot of the foodies like the Keith Lees and the Mr. Times and, on and on and on. So it just depends on who will respond back because I literally slide in everybody's DM. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, let me shoot my shot. If they respond back, so be it. And that's really what it is I just I go by their followers. I go by, obviously, if they, I see them promoting products, and just trying to make sure too that the person is engaging. So it just depends. And I'm not just going for big influencers either. I'm also, I think it's important to connect with the community. We have this new location here in Atlanta. So there are some local influencers here in Atlanta. They have, maybe 5,000 to, 120,000 followers. Any of that is fine for me because I just want people to be able to resonate with our food and say, oh my gosh, I see a real person eating it, giving real feedback. And I feel like that's what I want for dinner tonight.
Awesome. Do you have any mentors, any stories of something that they've taught you along the way?
I absolutely do. So yes, I think my number one mentor, and just kind of what I've taken with me in life, is mostly like through my parents and just like my religion. That to me is what kind of keeps me grounded, because I do feel like a lot of times I'm overwhelmed and I need something a little higher and bigger than me that can kind of help me stay sustained in my mental space, my health space. So my parents, I, pretty much talk to them about everything, and it's nice to go to them and get a scripture for encouragement, or just get some, like, encouraging words on kind of, like, you got this, and everything's, is going to be fine. And then from a professional level, I do have a couple mentors that, I've worked with, and it's just been mostly around, my biggest challenge that I've experienced is that I just take on too much. And just knowing that everything doesn't have to be completed overnight has been, been nice to kind of, have those conversations with people who, just help me literally just get a plan. Let's not try to do all the things tonight, and, really just take on what you can actually handle, so you don't like crack. So yeah.
Do you have any stories? So much of the time when we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs, it's easy to get excited about the things that we're accomplishing and winning. I think one of the most important things we do on this show is talk about some of the tough times. Any tough times launching this business? Any stories that you can share?
Yes. I think the probably the most touching story is just how much this has like affected my family. Because, one night we are all watching TV, on the couch and talking about, like, what we're going to order for dinner. And then the next night, my whole family's in the kitchen helping me make charcuterie. So it really did, like, shake up the world for my children and my husband. And so just trying to find that balance, because this is like my dream, right? This is not anything that, my children are like, we want
Come
charcuterie. We
on,
want
let's
to,
get.
like, they could care less. They just want
Yeah.
to, like, watch Netflix, go outside and play, or, play their Fortnite or whatever. So I think for me, just understanding too, that I have to really accept this as being my dream and this is my passion, and putting this off on my family. Although I know it's going to be successful. I see it successful. They see it, but also too, just reminding that I have to provide that balance. So I literally had to keep it to where I was separating the two in a way that it didn't just continue to, kind of almost be toxic to our family, where we're just like losing ourselves. And so we did go through a patch, with my husband and I and my children, just trying to find like that rhythm that works for us, where everybody felt like, their whole life is not bite by bite and co. And then even my husband's like, what else can we talk about at the dinner table, honey? I'm like, I got nothing. All I know is meat and cheese right now. But yeah, and that was tough. I think, but I think it's great because it helped me grow as a person, meaning like just understanding that, that I have more to consider than just, career, right? Like, this time's going to pass by so quickly with my little ones. And even, my husband and I, we were, he was telling me too, he's like, we're not getting any older. I want to enjoy you and
Yeah.
spend time with you, and, see your face and not just kind of see you in passing. So being able to just kind of really just slow down, the success will come, like, it'll come, you put the work in, but just keep that balance and kind of remember like what's important. I think that's kind of been the thing. And I'm glad I learned that early, because, sometimes it's hard and you have to learn a lesson in a different way that, you may have to lose something. So
I love that. I appreciate the honesty and vulnerability. It's something that one of my favorite quotes that I heard recently was, stop praying for as fast as possible and start praying for as long as it takes.
oh yeah. Yep, that's it. And you know what, Sean, it is very important too, because my husband, even when we go back to just like mentor, he does a really good job in just having me just stop and think, like, and he asks me like some challenging questions like all the time. So, a lot of this I don't take for granted, how well things have gone, but I know for sure none of it would have happened without him. I mean, he's just like that sounding voice. Whenever you hear that phrase, that calm in the storm, like, all of that has just been, phenomenal. And he alone just kind of, just teaches me a lot, because I just feel like I'm moving 100 miles per hour and I'm only thinking about the business. And I will tell you, he asked me, maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, we were driving and we were going on a date night. And he says to me, he was like, honey, you're doing so well. He was like, if you had to think about it, since you started this business, what do you think your number one accomplishment has been? And it threw me off guard. I was like, huh, that's a, really good question. And honestly, I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, I'm like, yeah, we're shipping, we got this contract, 1-800-Flowers. Let me see, we got another location, we're franchising. So I'm just like literally just, rambling off all this stuff. And so, something told me like, just take a moment and just think about that. So I told him, I said, you know what, I'm going to actually think on that, pray on that, and just see too, because I feel like that question needs to be answered for me, not really. Now I know you challenged it because you're just curious, but I think that is something I really need to just take a moment and really think on that. So I did. And then I came back to him, and the answer is, and this was a big piece of my growth and a big piece of what I feel has taken this business to the next level. I realized that this business has been created and molded by my talent and what God has given me. And what I mean by that is, for the longest, I have always been and when I say for the longest, for the past 2 years, I've been so nervous about having people and just making sure I keep, people in place and keep them happy and let them basically dictate my business. Yep. And then Christmas, so 2023, so just not long ago, 5 short months ago, all of my staff quit. Okay. I lost everybody. And so I have the location in Virginia, but I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So having my entire staff leave, and then I had then that's like during the busiest time of the year for us, right? So granted, they did leave after Christmas, but there's still that window where you're going into New Year's and people are still wanting charcuterie, right? Yep. So I had to, during that time, hire all new staff, get them trained, and make sure orders were not being missed, because I didn't want to shut down my website. I'm like, this is my livelihood too. This is how, my family, how we eat and pay our bills. So my director of operations and I, it was just she and I left. That's it. It's all that we had for Bite and Go. And so she and I put some ads out there on Facebook. We started instantly, interviewing people. I went to Richmond, Virginia. I was there for 1 week. I hired the people, trained the people, and everything kept moving. Like not one thing stopped. Not one. We had orders come in, and we never had to call and say, we cannot help you with this order. Everything kept moving, business as usual. And so that was literally like the biggest lesson for me, and gave me the most confident boost to say, Teyoshe, you got this. Like this, it's not about who's around you. You have created the blueprint. You know exactly what you're doing. This is your passion, your love. Just go ahead and do it. Like, yeah, you're going to have some obstacles, but it's okay. You're equipped for that. You're built for this. And I've been, since then, I basically create videos, and I will go through training with them. And then just like you and I are doing, yep, as we have new products launch and things change, I actually just have meetings with them just like this, and I train them just like this. So everything we do virtually. But again, just getting that confident boost and just saying like, oh my gosh, I got this. It was my aha moment. And that's what I came back and told my husband. That's it.
That's amazing. That's stories like that is why we started this show. It's for anybody that's listening. Entrepreneurship is not easy.
No.
It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart, but there's so much reward that goes into crafting something, creating something, building something. And if you're listening to this and you want to build something, or you are building something, we have a community on LinkedIn. It's our digital hospitality community. Every Wednesday, every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we do LinkedIn live calls. So you, the listener, you, the viewer, we want you to join us. No one's coming. It's one of the principles that we have. No one's coming to tell your story. You have to tell your story. You have to tell us what you're building. Even if you're not the owner, creators are everywhere. We don't have to create LinkedIn. We don't have to create YouTube. We don't have to ask for permission to post on Instagram. If you tell your story, you can find yourself on shows like this. You can create your own show. Amazing opportunities happen, and we'd love for you, the listener, to join us. We also do social shout outs. So this week's social shout out goes to Mike LaRue. Now, Mike LaRue, he is a franchise developer for Angry Chicks out here in Southern California. But he got the bug. He said that he was going to start making videos. We gently pushed him, a lot of the digital hospitality community, Troy Hooper, Jason Berkowitz. We told him, Mike, it's time. It's time for you to start making videos. And he has been posting a video per day on LinkedIn about his thoughts about the franchisor space. And he wanted to launch a show. I told him, Mike, you already have a show. It's the Mike LaRue Show. So give Mike LaRue a follow. We'll put a link to his LinkedIn in the show notes. Teyoshe, do you have somebody on your team that you'd like to shout out?
Yes, absolutely. So Kayla, she is my director of operations. Can't do anything without her. So basically her mom attended a workshop, and her mom came back and said, oh my gosh, I attended this workshop. This lady, her name is Teyoshe. She has this cute charcuterie business, and you would be perfect with this business. It's growing. It's going to be huge, Kayla. So Kayla she sent me an email. We met, I interviewed her, and that was, she's been with us for almost a year and a half. So she's been with me since the beginning, helped build all of this. And then recently we hired our general manager, Lauren. So she is in the Richmond location, and she runs that. So she is like our full operator there, taking care of that business. So the two of them, I mean, literally, they're my backbones. So
that's amazing. And then before I let you go, we do a smartphone storytelling challenge. So I got to ask you a couple. We believe that every business owner has all the keys to the kingdom right here in our pocket. We can literally build any kind of business, connect with people all over the world. But I'd like to find out, are you an Android or iPhone user?
Android, and they take the best pictures. Don't argue with me. Don't argue with me.
You might be my first Android answer, to be honest with you. You're the first Android answer, so that's fascinating. You prefer text or emails?
I text, absolutely.
Text or phone calls?
Phone calls.
Do you leave voicemails?
I do. I love it.
Do you like it when people leave you voicemails?
I don't. I don't.
Nice.
Just today, I accidentally pushed a button and it says I have 42 messages.
Come on.
So I'm terrible.
42 voicemails?
Yeah, but I like to leave the messages. I'm one of those probably 42 messages.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How many emails do you get a day?
I would say anywhere from maybe 80 to 150.
How many do you like reading?
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, because a lot of people are asking for money, sponsorship, or donation.
Yep.
So,
yep. Which app do you use for maps?
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Music.
Mm-hmm. Not Waze.
What do you use for music?
Tidal and Pandora.
Okay. Tidal and Pandora. Cool.
And I don't listen to the radio, believe it or not. My girlfriend and I went to lunch the other day, and I was like, what is this that I keep hearing? It's like commercials and all this stuff. Yeah. And I had to ask her, I was like, well, what are the radio stations here in Atlanta? So she put them in my phone. So now I listen to the radio.
Oh, really? Interesting. Do you prefer photos or videos?
Videos.
And how is your notification management?
My notification management is on silent.
Silent. So you don't have any notifications on any of your apps.
I turned them down. My website dings every time. I got the social media. It's just too much. So yeah, but I have my phone enough that I am trained to check it. Like so this is probably the longest I've gone without even looking at it. So I'm my notification. I just look.
Beautiful. And what is the best digital playground for people to connect with you on?
Instagram. I mean, that's where, we have definitely built, I feel like we're building our brand there. It's just, something where I do feel comfortable with that platform. I don't know why, but it just seems to resonate with Bite by Bite and Co. the best. But outside of Instagram, so our handle is at Bite by Bite and Co. for all the things for TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And then if you ever want to just have send an email, it's just info@bitebybiteandco.com.
And we appreciate you, the listener. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting our sponsors, Marquee and Davo. And if you ever need to get in touch with me, I'm easy. It's at Sean P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. As always, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Thank you, guys.